morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba, the Bull Moose candidate, here on Monday, March 2nd, the day before Super Tuesday. So I'm doing a special video and calling it Tulsi Gabbard and Super Tuesday. Well, over the weekend, Tom Steyer dropped out and Mr. Buttigieg dropped out, which I told you before would happen. Now you got a frenzy between the top candidates trying to get those voters, huh? Well, here's Tulsi's moment here, supporters from Tulsi Gabbard. This is the moment to get them. Because Buttigieg had moderate supporters, and so did Mr. Steyer. Let's get them. Get up to 15% and show these guys that we are something. And let's get also Amy Klobuchar, who's having problems in her home state of Minnesota because of her prior affiliation or job as a state attorney over there, and she sentenced somebody to life in prison. Remember that? Ooh, came back to haunt her over the weekend, huh? With all those protesters. Well, and by the way, to get the other guys over there, you Democrats that are running for office, including Mr. Bloomberg and Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden, don't hype yourself because you won in South Carolina. That's an anomaly state. That is a state that always has caused problems to the United States. 200 years ago this year, it made the United States almost go into civil war, and it had to result in a compromise of 1820 because it created its laws and said that federal laws were null and void. Remember that? And then in 1861, well, you know, it fired the first shots at Fort Sumter. So there you go. This is what we in the Bull Moose Party are saying. You guys are so disorganized. We need Tulsi Gabbard and the Bull Moose Party. And Mr. Biden, just because you won in South Carolina, look what's happening to Mr. Bloomberg in Alabama. He got the Klingon treatment. Remember Trekkies? They turned their back on him, just like the Klingons did on Worf, huh? That means he got this commendation. So, according to the African Americans, Mr. Bloomberg has got this commendation. Why doesn't Mr. Biden have this commendation? Why did he win in South Carolina? Didn't one of your own African Americans, Senator Kamala Harris, grilled him over the debates that they had before the season started on being working with the segregationist? Yes. So you see, African Americans, why did you vote for Joe Biden? And remember Anita Hill in 1991. I still wonder why you voted for Joe Biden in South Carolina. That's what I'm saying. You guys are an anomaly because those guys in Alabama are not going to vote for him. They're not going to vote for Mr. Bloomberg. Not in mass that you voted for in South Carolina. Here in Georgia, I doubt if the African Americans will vote for him. Because he was a member of the segregationist movement in the 1970s when he was a young guy. And also, he gave Anita Hill a hard time in the Thomas hearings. Ooh, that was bad, wasn't it? You guys see that on TV? Look at your video and look at the poor Anita Hill. She got blasted. And he didn't give an honest, oh, I'm sorry for doing that, because he had no right to do that. So you see, Tulsi supporters, this is your chance. Get out there and tell these people that you are the red, white, and blue. And if they still don't like you, come over to the Blue Moose Party. We are the red, white, and blue. We want to be Americans. We don't want to be Dixiecrats from the 1968 election. Remember that little election Democrat you had in there? With the Chicago 7? Ooh, yeah. But then, with all the stuff that happened in 68, all those assassinations, and you came out of that at convention, which was a disaster with HHH, and Richard Nixon did his dirty tricks, but then you had segregationist, Mr. George Wallace, running on the Dixiecrats, which caused Richard Nixon to win with 43% of the vote. Yoo-hoo! Remember that? That was the end of the line for you Democrats. You've never been the same since. You had McGovern 4 years later. And then you had Jimmy Who in 76. And the only reason you won was because the Reaganites stayed home. After that, the only two elections that you have actually won are because of Clinton and Obama. They had charisma. They were bad presidents, but they had charisma. You don't have anybody with charisma on your Democratic side. You got Mr. Trump and the deplorables on the Republican side. The only charisma person you have and the only person that's speaking the truth is Tulsi Gabbard. So come on, you Tulsi supporters, let's get on the roll here, huh? This is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Bubba saying good day.